Hello, and welcome back to Sacred Stone 0% Growths. We're off to Chapter 13, Mammal Canyon. Alright, so this is a defense map in which you can also end the chapter by defeating the boss, so of course that's what we're going to be aiming to do. Just looking at the position of the boss, you know, you might think, well, you can clear that in just a turn or two, depending on how you can use Tethys. And that is pretty much true, although... so you have a lot of units to get through to get to the boss. So doing it in one turn, I think, is probably not actually possible. 2 turns, I could see it. Certainly 3 or 4 turns. It's also worth noting that the boss is quite tough. 48 HP, 19 defense, 13 res, 19 strength. Like, he's quite scary. The good news is he doesn't move, and he's only got 10 speed, so he can be doubled, and we've also got a bunch of effective weaponry that we can use against him. Halberds and Horse Slayer, and there's a Zambata that gets dropped during this chapter. But all that having been said, Cormag shows up down here on turn 5, and I do want to recruit him, so I'm actually going to be aiming for a 6-turn clear of this chapter, which is actually a pretty low pressure thing to do relative to a lot of the other chapters in the run so far. You end up clearing out most of the enemies, even though it's not a route map, so it's an opportunity to do a little bit of training, or it would be if I had any units I want to train. I mean, as it is, there are some things I want to train. So specifically, I was taking a look at the item situation, which I'll do that. While I'm doing that, I will switch out these two. Yeah, so I was taking a look at the item situation. Not my items, but the item drops that are coming up in future chapters, and discovered that there is a warp staff coming up pretty soon, and you need A staff rank to use it, and Mulder is the only one who even has B, so I need to get moving on that if I want to be able to use that warp staff, and possibly he's the only one who will ever be able to use it, which is probably fine. B allows you to use the rescue staff, but Archer and Saleh aren't particularly close to B, and certainly La Rochelle is nowhere near, so that's a downside to that, but I think it should be okay. But yeah, so due to the nature of this chapter, like, we don't have like a pressing need for mobility to like move across the area, so that's why I don't feel like I really need Vanessa. And yeah, I'm just bringing a whole mess of healers. The other thing I want to do is use the energy ring that I got from Ewan on Garrett. So I did also learn that there is only one other Elysian Whip. So I passed the first Elysian Whip. That was in Chapter 8. It was in the chapter where you invade Renval with Erica, you reunite with Ephraim, and there's like chests way in the upper left, like, that would take you several extra turns to get to. And so I didn't get it then, and it turns out that's one of only 2 in the game. Cormag is going to show up with the other one, but he's going to want to use it, so poor Tana is going to have to wait and hope she gets to use the single Master Seal that shows up in like Chapter 15 or 16, which she probably will. I mean, that is probably who I want to give it to. But the point is, I kind of wish I'd given the defensive stat boosters that I gave to her to Garrick instead, because he's like definitely the best, just like sort of frontline to like tank all the enemies unit I've got right now. I mean, Seth obviously is up there as well, but Seth's advantages over Garrick right now are mostly in mobility. Anyway, but I am going to give him this energy ring, so that'll be nice. Do a little bit more damage, which is also going to potentially be important against the boss, because he's got the halberd, and that's the effective weapon with the highest chance to hit him, because the boss starts with a short spear equipped. Anyway, so let's set our formation here. So we're going to have the Paladins and Saleh try to clear out this group, and make sure that Ballista's not shooting at us, and then Archer, Innis, and Tana are going to try to clear out this group, and same thing with the Ballista there. This Ballista will still fire, but we can't really take that out turn 1. There's also a guy back here with a sleep staff, so that's something to be concerned about. Mulder has a restore staff, so we can deal with that. Dulcela's going to go down here, deal with these guys. There's a bunch of reinforcements that show up here, but it's not really important that we deal with those quickly, but eventually we'll drop some units back to deal with them. Garrick is out of position here. Make sure of something here. So 11 attack. So 7/7. He has 1 resistance. Yeah, okay. So Tana and Archer can just barely take out this guy. Yeah, okay. I think we're ready to go here. So first, I'm gonna try this attack. Okay. Seth is going to come up here, pop this guy. Oh, something else I learned is that Seth has actually maxed his sword rank. So I thought, based on the fact that the bar was filling up, that he could also get to S swords, but it's clear at this point that no, he can't. It's just locked out because of having S lances. So that's, you know, a little annoying, but what can you do? What can you do? I guess it doesn't really matter. So we'll train the primary weapon rank. Alright, and then come down here and have Innis take this guy out. And Tana come down. This guy, set up a kill for Archer. Alright, Dazla needs to be in range of this guy. He's got a javelin, he's got equipped a hand axe. So then Garrick is going to sort of come over up front and try to just aggro a whole mess of dudes. It turns out that if you attack from here, you're more likely to aggro these nomads and also draw people onto the fort. So I want to actually attack from here instead, even though he doesn't get to clean up as many of those soldiers. Nice. Because the nomads are pretty scary, and I have time. I have 6 turns, so there's no real reason to draw them all out just yet. I mean, they can all attack him, but in practice, like, the soldiers end up moving first and blocking them, and so they don't really. And then we want Mulder in position to be able to come up and restore Garrick if he gets slept by this guy. Then we can accomplish that from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna come up and heal Innis. Build that staff rank. Erica ultimately just needs to talk to Cormac, so she's gonna hang out back here. And Laura Shell just stand on some woods as well. Also good to have Garrick building his axe rank. So one nomad does make it through, but the other 2 should be blocked. And sleepy time for Garrick. Which is okay. We got a solution to that problem. Okay, so now we really want to take this guy out, which we can do. Seth. So we will. Or not. Meh. Alright, well, hopefully we can get Garrick through to finish him off. So let's see whether Saleh can get this kill. He can. Aha. Yeah, because those guys are quite tough. Okay, so Arthur is not capable of picking that kill up. I'm sure that Innes is, but what I would like to do... Well, let's see here. Could use the Lance Reaver on forward to open the path. Actually, Innes will be able to take the kill if I have Arthur and Tana clear the way, so this is fine. Unfortunately, this will probably cause Innes to get blown up a little bit, but that's okay. You can deal with it. Meanwhile, I think we want to dance for... Let's see, actually Mulder. And heal Garrick before he moves in. So, I'm getting there. Alright, so I don't really want people occupying those forts. The other concern I have is this guy coming up and hitting Tana. I don't think he would kill her. I mean, he won't double her. I don't think. No. Yeah, so I can. Yeah, I think it's actually better to just go from here. And we'll keep the hand axe equipped for range retaliation. Alright, so meanwhile, these guys are starting to come in. This guy has the Zanbato that I mentioned. We don't really have great options for dealing with them right now. Ideally, we drop Saleh back at some point, but meantime... Let's see, this guy has a hand axe, so we can put Dazla here. Larshall top him off. Go ahead and use the Mend. The unfortunate thing here is that if we could have taken out, if Seth had made his hits land against the ballista, then, or sorry, against that priest, then Garrett could have taken out the ballista. And now Seth's probably gonna get surrounded. Yeah. Blech. Ah, come on, Seth. Okay, so now I think what we want to do is have Innes come up and finish this guy off. Need to get Seth free. And of course, we also just want that ballista to be gone. Seth would very much like some healing at this point. Though, I'm not actually sure that he needs it if I get him onto the fort. None of these guys do that much damage, and getting 2 HP of healing, or sorry, of defense, or just getting 2 defense is pretty powerful. So we could potentially have it be Archer that comes back here rather than Saleh. Saleh is certainly stronger, but the enemies up here are stronger too. So that is an option. Meanwhile, this situation is a little scary for Ford, which is one of the reasons that I might need to have somebody else come back there and help out. This should weigh this guy down, but only to 9 speed, so he actually would get doubled by Tana if I wanted to send her back there. She does also have an Axe Reaver, so she can help out with the fighters as well. So we can just have Saleh blow that guy up. Carrick blow this guy up, and then Seth run back and blow the other guy up. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Got our 3 strongest units at the front at that point. And these guys will double Archer, so sending him in to heal is not safe. Same thing with Mulder. We could rescue them out if it came to that. We don't really need to hold this position up here just yet. If at some point, if I fall back, then I'm going to need to push back through so that Erica can get close enough to Cormag. But it doesn't, like, she doesn't need to be super close, so not a huge deal. Whoa, Archer can rescue Tana, not Mulder. It's kind of weird. But I think what I'm going to do is come up and heal Seth. Have Tana come back and rescue Mulder. Just stop right here. Yeah, it's well out of range. Dance for Tana. Let's see what happens if we just... Oh, we can get in the mountains. That's cool. I'm down for that. I do not want Ford in range of both of these guys, so I guess that means he can't be in range of either of those guys. So let's just move Erica down. So move Ford back like that. Actually, do this. Oh, I guess I failed to get 4 out of the way. Huh. Alrighty, 2 more turns to go. I think Sala is probably going to have the best hit rates here. 87's pretty good. But it's not a kill. We can also use Innis to help out, potentially. Yeah, okay, so let's have Seth. There's just not much difference. Seth do that, Innis come up. Just dance for Saleh. Get all those nomads out of the way, finally. And X this guy and fail to kill him. I just want to stay out of the boss's range. Okay. So we do have some injured units over here. We can potentially send Marshall or Artur to help out with that. Not Mulder. Let's see. What to do about these guys? Alright, so the Zanbato guy... that doesn't look promising. Wait, I thought she'd double him. He's got 10 speed. Oh, 10 speed. She's got 13. Okay. Yeah. Well, I can have Artur take out this guy. Oh, I can't. Just kidding. But what I can do, I mean, this guy is not going to kill Ford by any means, so I can do... Oh, Ford can just kill this guy, okay. And Erica can come up and trade him the lance. I guess we just do this. And... this will send Laura Shaw up here. So we have Artur back here as somebody who can actually attack. Not that he wants to be attacked by these guys. So that's pretty bad, but maybe we can draw this guy off with the Axe Reaver. Seems reasonable. Ow. Alright, there's some reinforcements, and there's Cormag. So next turn, we gotta kill the boss. Which shouldn't be a problem. We got plenty of firepower over here to do it with. Let's make sure that Lara Shell is not in range of anybody, and have her heal up Innis. So these guys can't, for the most part, block access to the boss except kind of these two. So we're gonna have Seth over and see if he can... Well, he can't really finish them off. That's annoying. I guess we could have Innis help out with that, and then if they attack Innis, then they're distracted, so that's something. I can almost finish this guy off, but let's do this guy. Well, crap. Alright. So, over here... I'd really like to get these guys all cleared out. And it seems clear that I want to do this. And this. Let's see, 9 damage. And 8 damage is 17, so I mean I could set the kill up for Erica. Or I could just go for the shine kill, or that is to say, not having to rely on Erica. So what's 85? No, it's probably better to go for the shine. Alright. Got that, no problem. I guess I should really do this. Okay, so now I think we can assume. Let's see. Cormag will come up towards this group. So where do we want to place Erica exactly? Because I just realized I don't have Tethys nearby to chant for her. Should I, or dance? Should I should he put himself in a weird position, but I think this will probably be fine. And Saleh... Sure, we'll just stick him here with the... under... Okay, that looks like a good spot for me, or for Cormag to be for me. Yep. Okay. Let's go talk to Cormag. Alright, and let's talk about Cormag. So, I mentioned he comes with his own Elysian Whip. He's also level 11, so like Garrick, he's ready to insta-promote. And his, as you can see, his bases are pretty good for an unpromoted unit. Not quite as good as Garrick's, but, you know, good strength, good, well, solid speed, good defense, reasonable HP. He's a little low on, like, the secondary stats, skill, luck, and resistance, but he is a flyer, and he's got 11 con compared to Tana's 5, so he's definitely, that's the main reason why I want to promote him over her, is that even though he has less speed than her, between his much higher strength and his much higher con, he has more effective speed than her wielding all but the lightest of weapons, and when she's wielding the lightest of weapons, of course, she's not doing too much damage. So, yeah, in fact, I'm probably just going to promote him right away, but before I do that, I want to do some fighting here, just to get a little bit more training in him. I guess we can just have Mulder mend for Duzla right now. And he is almost at A rank, so we're doing pretty well there. Have Duzla come down and attack this guy. Or maybe we'll... And in theory, it would be good to get Artur some staff rank. So what we actually probably want to do is, like, attack guys who are likely to hit, which is, like, a weird thing to do, but... that. Yeah, there we go. Not like we need XP, so... Actually securing kills, not important. Alright, so... I guess Ford just wants to train some Lance rank. Same with Tana. And actually, I'll save the Cormag promotion till after the chapter, because I might as well just have him swing at something and train his Lance rank a little bit. Alright. Meanwhile, over here, so Garrick has the Halberd. He's got a 77% chance to hit. If he hits twice, he gets the kill. We've also got Tethys available to Dancer him, so we're in a very good spot to be able to secure the kill. We've also got Innis able to do some damage, and Saleh can actually, let's see, how much is this doing? Okay, so that's not enough for a kill, but he can help out. Seth can potentially help out. So, I don't know that, so like Innis is gonna get to S rank bows anyway. Seth has already maxed his weapon ranks. Garrick's working on it. So really we should have Saleh like heal Innis, I guess. think there's anybody for Lara Shell to heal. Training her is like the least important thing, so I don't want to push my luck too far with this, so I'm just going to go for the kill right now. Yep, and he's down. Alright. And we get a Night Crest, so we can promote Kyle for what that's worth, which is not much. And we get 5,000 gold. Hooray. What's this? War funds. That's exactly what it is. Alright, so that was chapter 13 in 6 turns. Right on target. And to close out this episode, we will do the promotion of Cormag. Well, I didn't really talk, so I guess I should say, in Vanilla Sacred Stones, he's certainly also a very good unit. You know, he comes in with pretty good bases for his join time. Obviously not as good as some of the other promoted units, but still quite good. Obviously he's a flyer, so that's fantastic. I think he is generally rated below Vanessa, you know, in Vanilla, because normally Vanessa's had a ton of time to train by this point, but, you know, still very useful. I think he might generally be rated above Tana, actually, in general, not just here. Although, I mean, I don't actually know. Maybe he isn't rated above Tana in LTC just because of, or 0% growth just because of Tana's availability. But I don't really know. Anyway, so we're gonna promote him, and we have 2 options. We have Wyvern Lord and Wyvern Knight. So Wyvern Lords have the advantage that they get weapon triangle control with their addition of swords. However, Wyvern Knights get +3 speed, which is fantastic. Now, Wyvern Lords do get +1 con. So if we go back for a second, he's got 11 con, and we know from Seth that when you're using lances, 11 con is not enough, you know, to use anything with impunity. But still, 3 speed is more than 1 con. So there are a few other advantages to the Wyvern Lord. More defense, 2 more defense, 1 more strength, 1 more HP. But I just think the speed differential is what it's all about. And honestly, like, having access to swords is not that important anyway. The Pierce skill is definitely not the reason I'm going to be doing this. But yeah, speed's good. And there you are. So it's still not... Oops. If we come back and look at our list of units, this is, you know, pretty much our top line units list right here. Still definitely not as much raw combat prowess as Garrick or Seth or really even Saleh. I guess you could argue Innis is better too, depending on what you're looking for. But obviously, you know, he's a flyer, and that's really useful. So yeah, that'll be good to have going forward. Anyway, that'll do it for this episode. I'll see you next time for chapter 14. Until then.